For those of you who I have not met yet, hi, my name is Aaron Huber. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Office of the Commonwealth's Attorney. It's going to be my privilege in a few moments to introduce Commonwealth's Attorney Gerina D. Weathers. She'll give a few remarks, then we will hear from the Chief and her team at the LMPD Traffic Unit, at which point we'll finalize with taking some questions. If you all need some B-roll, additional side remarks, I'll be happy to facilitate that. Come find me or Public Information Officer Aaron Ellis with LMPD. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce your Commonwealth's Attorney, Gerina D. Weathers.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Chief, our LMPD officers, everyone that's here from our office. It's so good to see you all today, and thank you so much for joining us for a few minutes. We wanted to share a couple of things with you. We have a new initiative, more of a retooling of sorts, and we want to share with you that we're collaborating with the Louisville Metro Police Department and other important organizations to share a collaborative effort in combating fatal motor vehicle collisions occurring throughout our city and communities. You all are very, very well known about what's happening here in Louisville, and it's not getting any better. We're getting ready to go into the spring and summer months, and we want to make sure that we are highlighting and doing what we need to do to take care of our citizens of this community. With the outstanding work of LMPD, because I want to make it very clear, this the investigative work that they have already been doing, that with these fatal crashes, our office has retooled the FAST team. It's the Fatal Accident Support Team, a specifically trained group of dedicated prosecutors who specializes in these fatal crashes, where felony vehicle assault, vehicle homicides, and other related DUIs occur. This means that in our office, we're going to be specialized, we're trained. You see them right behind me. They're one of our best prosecutors that we've ever had. We actually have one of our prosecutors that have come back to our office that's very, very familiar with our FAST team. And we want to make sure instead of these cases actually rotating throughout our other 44 prosecutors that we have in the office, they will actually rotate right into this team, so we can give the attention that it deserves for ourselves and for our community. The 7 members are made up of Jackson Rice, our Chief Andrew Daly, Chris Hutchison, which we call Hutch, Virginia Call, Eric Jenkins, Devon Danley, and Layla Lefty. We want to be able to continue to centralize these particular cases. These goals, ladies and gentlemen, are very, very simple. We want to continue to promote public safety on our highways and our byways. We just simply want our citizens to be able to get from point A to point B, for them to be able to get home to their families and be able to do what they want to do and be able to enjoy this life the way we should. We want to protect our families from these careless and distracted drivers. You see them every day. And again, we already have the collaboration and the hard work that LMPD is already doing. And what they need from us is to make sure that we help with the investigation, give the intentions that they need in order for us to prosecute these cases specifically. Over the past year, we have had 139 total charges in connection with a crash where a death or serious injury merited felony prosecution. 29 of those charges are related to operating a motor vehicle under influence, approximately 1/4 of our cases. We also want to promote public confidence, treating all too common crimes with the attention they warrant, and treating all of our persons with fairness and dignity. And then last but not least, as we always need to do, we have learned, if we haven't learned before, that we have to collaborate. We have to work together if we're going to actually make an intentional change in our society. So right now I want to introduce our chief, LMPD Chief Jackie.
Thank you, Attorney Weathers, and to the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, officers that are here today, and to my LMPD family and the traffic unit members that you see here. We're very serious about ensuring that our roads and our streets here in Louisville remain safe. And so we are dedicated in doing our job in order to ensure that we can navigate our roads and our streets in a safe manner for everyone. And so LMPD has been tasked with an initiative to see if we can get our traffic fatalities down by 5%. And that is an aggressive goal. That is an aggressive goal because we have seen the lives that have been lost, countless lives unnecessarily by distracted drivers, if you heard from Attorney Weathers, by DUIs, and by just carelessness. And so we want to do our part to ensure that everybody has a great life here in Louisville. And I'm so proud of our traffic unit members and the work that they do each and every day. And now I present to you Lieutenant Craig Browning, who is the commander of our traffic unit, and he will give further remarks. Thank you.
Morning, I'm Lieutenant Browning, LMPD Traffic Unit. This press conference was put together by the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office. I want to thank them, Chief, Executive Staff, for showing up as well. A lot of people know our unit as, well, the red Mustang that sits on the side of a certain interstate for a particular time of day. Those that live in the East End, you're familiar with who I'm talking to. I don't need to mention names. Part of what we do is enforcement. The other part of what we do is investigation, prosecution when there's a criminal act involved with a collision. All right. Our mission statement for our unit is to keep the highways open and moving. We are to enforce the applicable traffic laws. We're investigating fatal and serious injury collisions, but we're also looking at the engineering aspect. We've been partnering with the Vision Zero project. We've been reaching out to Metro Public Works. My boss, Major Bates, has been critical in that role there. Basically, we're trying to make sure that everybody can get where they want to get in a safe manner. The big issues that we see involve speed, something as simple as putting a seatbelt on, something as simple in this day and age, 2024, Uber, Lyft, ride shares of any type. There's really no reason to be getting behind the wheel of a vehicle while you're impaired. None whatsoever. The chief mentioned a reduction in traffic fatalities. Right now, currently, we have 19 for this year to include 6 pedestrians. Last year at this time, we had 22 total fatalities. So week over week, we are 14% below where we were last year. Now, you may notice the weather out here today. Motorcycle season is coming up. All right, again, speed, rider experience, helmets. Helmet laws are a little different in Kentucky for people depending on how long they've had their motorcycle license, but it never hurts. There are people that, helmet laws. My recommendation, based off of what the officers and detectives in my units have seen as a result of these wrecks, it may save your life. And that's what we're here for. When you see us on the side of the interstate, yes, we're trying to influence your behavior. When I'm off duty and I'm driving down the interstate and see one of my officers there and I'm in a civilian car, it makes me pay better attention to what I'm doing. That's the effect we're wanting to have when we're out there on the roadways. Another shout out to the Chief's office. We did receive a grant earlier this year through the Chief's office, through Major Bates, through myself, Sergeant Ron Fay, who's standing off to the side here, where we were able to distribute radars to be placed in the patrol cars across all 8 patrol divisions. I've spoken with numerous majors across the patrol divisions that are identifying high problem areas where speed, serious injury crashes, fatal crashes have occurred. We're looking to expand our presence. And it's not that we want to be out picking on anybody, it's we're trying to influence behavior to make the city safer for everyone. If there's nothing else, anybody else come up to speak, or am I done here, Chief? Ma'am?
Folks, if you have any questions about the FAST team of prosecutors, Attorney Weathers is here. If you have any questions about LMPD's efforts to help train those prosecutors and our traffic unit team. In addition, I do want to recognize Ms. Sabrina Sanford from MAD. So she is Kentucky's Victims Advocates. She does not have any prepared remarks, but she is here in support today if anyone has any questions about just drunk driving in general. I do want to note that while this is not an initiative to specifically target drunk driving, this is an initiative that drunk driving charges would be included in vehicular homicide and assaults as part of that overall range, as in like the 139 charges that you heard of. So please, if you have questions.
Sure.
On a ground level, it happened. We had a very, Andrew, can I call her very experienced We had a Commonwealth attorney that we worked closely with in our office retire. All of this kind of bubbled up, and I'll admit, when Mr. Daly first heard from me, I think he thought I was panicking. But essentially, we've sat and watched over years, especially since 2019, since COVID. Speeds have gone up, number of fatalities have gone up, and it was basically, let's have a meeting and sit down and talk about what we're doing, what we can do, what we need to do. And Mr. Daly and Mr. Deathridge were gracious enough to come out to our office, and we sat down, an hour and a half, couple hours, just sitting there talking, like, here's what we do, what can we do better? They're looking at us saying, here's what we do, what can we do better? So that essentially kicked off the entire collaboration that you see here in front of you.
What are some of the things you're looking for when you're trying to build that good case against, say, a vehicular manslaughter?
Vehicular manslaughter, they can speak to the KRS, the law side of it, better than I can, but from our perspective, we have years and years of training that goes into each one of the detectives that you see here. Similar to how the SWAT team has tactical training, our team has training in physics, vehicle dynamics, speed measurement. For any of you that may have come out to any of our fatal scenes, we look like we're surveying land with land survey equipment. What we're doing is drawing a scale map of the actual collision scene. Based off of measurements there, the detectives here standing next to me are skilled enough to be able to determine distance, time, speed, and figure out the dynamics, meaning what happened to that vehicle throughout the entire process from initiation to final arrest.
How does that translate to the legal side?
Well, how that translates to the legal side is if I can prove that you're doing 40 miles over the posted speed limit. Some of the speed limits in this county are 70 miles per hour. If you're 40 miles over that, you're traveling at 110 miles per hour. Now, at that point, I believe legally, Mr. Daly, you could step in here if you want. We could talk about reckless behavior. We can talk about wanton behavior. We could talk about intentional behavior, perhaps. Those are layered into the different charges of vehicular manslaughter, DUI murder, however, which way we're taking it once we collaborate and present to the grand jury.
Okay. And thank you so much, and you're absolutely right. It's just a nexus, what we look at, what we can charge, and it has a lot to do with the package that everything that's put together by LMPD. They do a great job. It's just our responsibility to make sure that we put together the nexus between the action and what the law occurs, and it's wanton conduct mostly. But for the most part, and you heard earlier what those statutes are, but it's just the nexus between what we have, what's been put together, and what we can prove in court. And I'll have him also come up and speak because, of course, he's been here. I just got here in May, but I will share with you, it's been here since 1988. It's not gone anywhere. And again, the LMPD has put together, that team has been strong, and we've had a couple of our prosecutors that have been working on these cases quite a bit. What's changed in our office, I can speak with our office, is that we have rotation of cases. There's 44 prosecutors, and there's 2,100 cases. Those cases are usually rotated and given to, depending on who the prosecutors are. But these particular cases will only go to these 7 prosecutors. So it's an opportunity for us to just retool, revamp, and make sure that we're working with LMPD. They're giving us the training that we need. We already have prosecutors who absolutely know what they're doing, but these specialized cases, we just would need to make sure that we start highlighting those cases in a different form. But the FAST team and those cases had never gone away. It's just an opportunity for us to be able to revamp.
I think speaking from our office, I can kind of piggyback off of what she just graciously said. Everybody here is familiar with reporting news on homicide scenes, stuff of that nature, right? We're still dealing with a death. We're still dealing with a victim. We're still dealing with multiple people that have their lives changed forever based off of that one moment in time when those 2 cars tried to occupy the same space, right? Now, the difference is the vehicle dynamics and the math portion. My predecessor retired at the end of last year. I assumed command of the traffic unit in January. And it became apparent to me after Chief Villarroel put out the goals for LMPD for this year that, okay, we need to sit down and have a discussion. I want to make sure that the officers that are putting in the hours, not only in my division, but across the department, these charges are things, the wanton charges especially, are stuff that a patrol officer anywhere in this county, if they have the right circumstances, they're able to bring these charges. But I wanted to ensure that our people knew and were able to perform at their best to give some type of relief to that victim or that victim's family, and that we were coming to the Commonwealth Attorney's Office prepared. If they had a question, explain this to me, we could answer it. On the flip side of that, I also wanted, we have officers in our unit that have been here 16, 17, 18 years that have handled numerous cases. I wanted them to be available to help teach prosecutors hey, explain how this works. Explain how I need to ask this question to get it on record in court. I wanted there to be a collaborative effort to lift everybody and provide the best service that we could provide. Anything else? Chief?